All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It is Saturday. Hope you're all doing well today. Another good week in the cave. Yesterday we did a little Thin Lizzy. Hope you had a chance to listen to them. Pretty epic week. Depeche Mode. Had all kinds of good stuff this week. Looking forward to today's topic. This band. It's been on my list for a while, especially after watching the documentary about them on Showtime, which I recommend. We're talking about the band The Go-Go's, whose album hit the top of the charts for the third week in a row. Beauty and the Beat. 1982. I remember that summer of 82, the summer of the Go-Go's. I don't know about you, but they were a pretty big deal. And their story is very interesting. So like I said, if you haven't seen it, check out the Showtime documentary on the Go-Go's. You've already watched everything else. You might as well watch this. It is worth it. So, the Go-Go's, who are they? From LA. They started out as a punk band. That's right, they were a punk band, an all-female punk band no less. And they were very much into that thriving punk scene in the early 80s in LA. We're talking bands like The Germs, X, The Controllers, Fear. I mean, that was a whole scene. And then they had their idols, the Sex Pistols. That's where they met. Two of the band members met at a Sex Pistols show. I mean, if you were into that music, you pretty much knew everyone because it was, not in the mainstream. So everyone just kind of went to all these shows. They got together as a band. Lots of chats at Denny's about their name and what they were going to do with their music. And they were absolutely a punk band, and there's footage you can see of them early on. They ended up getting gigs at the Whiskey, the Mask. They shared a recording space with the Motels. We did an episode on the Motels. Love the Motels. You can just picture that whole scene in LA in that time, right? They get themselves a demo in '79, and next thing you know, things start to pick up a bit, and they end up touring with, get this, Madness and the Specials. I mean, that is so awesome. They became good friends with those cats. But they not only did they tour the United States, but they toured in the UK as well. I mean, they're talking about royalty here, and here they were opening for those bands in the UK and just loving it, touring with these guys. And they again formed friendships, lifelong friendships with those guys. A little bit of a lineup change. Kathy Valentine joined. She was in Girls' School, a UK rock band, and they kept saying, you guys are doing great on this punk scene, but you're not going to do anything until you get a record deal. And someone quoted as saying, where did you go to get a record deal when you couldn't get a record deal? This place, IRS Records. We already talked about this in an episode, but I feel like this is a conspiracy that never gets enough attention. Who basically starts with this. You got the band The Police. Who's in the Police? Miles Copeland. Copeland's father in the CIA. Copeland's brother Miles, founded IRS Records. The other brother founded a talent agency called FBI. See what I'm talking about here? We got the police, the FBI, the CIA, and the IRS all in the same place. Message in a bottle, murder by numbers. See where I'm going with this? I'm just saying. Back to the show. All right. So they sign, they put out this record. Now, first of all, We Got the Beat was on their demo, and it became a club hit in the UK. So they already had this song floating around. That's why it made sense for them to tour with Madness and the Specials. They already had this song going. But they put this record out, and this was just a total surprise hit. No one saw it coming. This thing, certified platinum. It was huge. It was an absolute huge record. There's some great songs on here, and then they just took off from there, obviously. We can cover it another time, but then they put out Vacation and all that good stuff. So, this was nominated for a Grammy for a Record of the Year. They got nominated for Best New Artist. I mean, again, it was Go-Go's everywhere. I remember the cover of Rolling Stone when they were on the cover. So this was a huge deal. So what kind of songs you got on this record? Well, to choose from for Song of the Day. You got Our Lips Are Sealed, We Got the Beat. This Town, if you haven't heard This Town, you got to check that out. They do play that on First Wave on Sirius. So if you haven't heard that one, that's a good one. And How Much More, that's another good song. But song of the day, I got to go with Our Lips Are Sealed because that's one of my favorites. So you couldn't go wrong with any of those. But Our Lips Are Sealed is your song of the day today. And we're at 5 minutes, so we're going to cut it today. But we love the Go-Go's, love this album. I love this story. Like I said, I think it's a great story. So if you haven't watched it, that's what you're doing this weekend. But turn on some Go-Go's, put on their greatest hits, put on this record, whatever it is, and hit me up with some comments about the Go-Go's. All right, have a great Saturday. It's going to be a gorgeous day here in New England, and can't wait for tomorrow and Slow Down Sunday. So enjoy it, and as usual, catch you on the flip side.